Every day you have two choices when you wake up: to remain a prisoner of your past or to boldly step into your future. Your thoughts shape your reality, and the way you speak to yourself determines the life you create. If you want to change your life, it all starts with changing the conversation you're having in your mind. The most powerful words you will ever hear are not those spoken by others. They are the ones you say to yourself when no one is listening. These words define your identity, your potential, and your future. So today I want you to declare 9 powerful truths over your life. 9 things you must remind yourself of every single day. These are not just words, they are powerful tools. They will give you strength in times of fear, keep you grounded when you feel lost, and push you forward when doubts try to hold you back. Life has a way of testing us, throwing challenges in our way that seem impossible to overcome. There are times when the weight of the world feels overwhelming, when struggles seem endless, and when giving up appears to be the easiest option. But in those moments, the truth remains clear. You are stronger than your struggles. The obstacles you face are not there to break you. They are there to shape you. Think back to a time when you faced something difficult. Perhaps a loss, a failure, a betrayal, or a dream that didn't go as planned. At that moment, it may have felt like the end, but you made it through. You survived what you once thought would defeat you. And that's proof of your strength. Every struggle you've encountered has shaped you into the person you are today. Your resilience was forged in the fires of hardship. Every scar you carry tells a story of survival. When difficulties arise, your mind will try to convince you that you're weak. It will tell you that you can't handle it, that this time will be different, and that you won't make it through. But the mind lies. It underestimates your capacity to endure, your ability to rise, and your inner strength. You've already overcome things that were meant to destroy you. You've already fought battles that others didn't even know you were facing. That same strength is still inside you. Struggles are not signs of weakness. They are part of life. The strongest people aren't the ones who never face hardships. They are the ones who face them and keep moving forward. Strength isn't measured by how much pain you avoid, but by how you respond to it. Pain is a teacher. It teaches patience, perseverance, and the power of endurance. Every tough season in your life is preparing you for the next one. The struggles you face today are building the strength you will need tomorrow. When life knocks you down, you have 2 choices: stay down or get back up. Many people give up just before their breakthrough. They allow the weight of their struggles to convince them they aren't capable of moving forward. But the difference between those who succeed and those who don't is simple. Those who succeed refuse to give up. They refuse to let their struggles define them. They refuse to be victims of their circumstances. Your struggles aren't roadblocks, they are stepping stones. Every challenge is an opportunity to grow. Every failure is a lesson in resilience. Every setback is a setup for a comeback. The strongest warriors are those who've walked through fire and emerged stronger. The most successful people in the world have all faced failure, rejection, and disappointment. What sets them apart is their refusal to let their struggles determine their destiny. They know that strength isn't something you're born with. It's something you build, moment by moment, choice by choice. The mind will always focus on the difficulty of the struggle, but you must train it to focus on the strength inside you. When you face obstacles, remind yourself of what you've already overcome. Look at your past victories. Think of the times when you thought you wouldn't make it, but you did. That's proof of your ability to keep going. You have more strength inside you than you realize. Every day that you choose to keep fighting, every day that you refuse to give up, you are proving to yourself that you are stronger than your struggles. You may not feel strong in the moment. You may feel exhausted, defeated, and broken. But strength isn't about how you feel. It's about what you do, despite how you feel. Strength is choosing to rise, even when it would be easier to stay down. Strength is taking one more step, even when you don't see the finish line. Strength is trusting that even in your toughest moments, you are being shaped into the person you were meant to become. Your mind is your most powerful tool, but it can also be your greatest enemy. Every day, thoughts race through your head, shaping how you see the world, how you see yourself, and how you react to challenges. The problem is, most people let their minds control them rather than taking control of their minds. They let fear, doubt, and negativity dictate their actions, holding them back from the life they were meant to live. But the truth is, your thoughts are not facts. Just because a thought appears in your mind doesn't mean you have to believe it. Imagine waking up and immediately being flooded with negative thoughts. Thoughts like, I'm not good enough. I'll never succeed. What if I fail? Or what if people judge me? If you accept these thoughts as truth, your entire day will be shaped by them. You will move through life carrying the weight of fear and self-doubt, making decisions based on limitations rather than possibilities. But what if, Instead of accepting those thoughts, you recognize that they are simply old patterns trying to control you. What if you choose to take charge of your mind and replace those negative thoughts with new, empowering ones? The key to taking control of your mind is awareness. You must become aware of the thoughts running through your head and decide which ones to believe and which ones to reject. The mind is like a muscle. It can be trained, but it requires effort. If you've spent years feeding it negativity, it will take time to rewire it. But the good news is, no matter how long you've been stuck in negative thought patterns, you can break free. You can decide right now that you will no longer be a prisoner of your own mind. One of the biggest lies the mind tells you is that fear is a signal to stop. Fear is not a sign to retreat. It's simply a reaction to the unknown. Every time you step outside your comfort zone, your mind will try to pull you back. It will create excuses, worst-case scenarios, and reasons why you should stay where you are. But if you let fear control you, you will never grow. You will never experience the fullness of life. Instead of seeing fear as an enemy, start seeing it as a test. Every time fear arises, it's an opportunity to take control of your mind and prove to yourself that you are stronger than your doubts. Self-doubt is another enemy that must be confronted. How many times have you talked yourself out of something before even trying? How many dreams have you let die because you convinced yourself you weren't capable? The truth is, self-doubt is just a story your mind tells you based on past experiences and limiting beliefs. But just because you failed before doesn't mean you will fail again. Just because something didn't work out in the past doesn't mean it won't work now. You must remind yourself that you are not the same person you were yesterday. You are growing, evolving, and learning every single day. You have new knowledge, new skills, and new opportunities. The only thing standing in your way is the belief that you can't, and that belief is a lie. One of the most powerful ways to take control of your mind is by practicing intentional thinking. Instead of letting your thoughts run on autopilot, start choosing them deliberately. When a negative thought arises, challenge it. Ask yourself, is this thought serving me? Is it helping me grow? Is it pushing me toward the life I want? If the answer is no, replace it with a thought that does serve you. The more you practice this, the more you will train your brain to work for you, not against you. Your thoughts determine your emotions, and your emotions determine your actions. If you allow negative thoughts to dominate your mind, you will live in a constant state of fear, anxiety, and hesitation. But if you fill your mind with empowering thoughts, you will move through life with confidence, purpose, and courage. It all starts with the decision to take control. Your mind is a tool, and like any tool, it works best when used correctly. Take charge of it, train it, shape it, because the moment you stop letting your mind control you is the moment you become unstoppable. It's easy to look around and feel like you're behind. You see other people achieving their goals, moving forward, and seemingly having everything figured out. While you're still trying to find your way, your mind will whisper that you should be further along, that you're running out of time, and that maybe you're not where you should be. But the truth is, you are exactly where you need to be. Every step of your journey, every success, every setback, and even every delay is shaping you for what comes next. Life doesn't always unfold on your timeline. There are seasons of growth and seasons of waiting. There are moments when everything falls into place, and moments when nothing makes sense. But the mistake most people make is thinking that just because things aren't happening as quickly as expected, they're failing. The reality is that just because you can't see progress doesn't mean progress isn't happening. Some of the most important growth happens in the unseen moments. When you're learning patience, developing resilience, and gaining the wisdom you'll need for the next chapter. Comparison is one of the biggest reasons people struggle to accept where they are. It's natural to look at others and wonder why they're ahead, why they got the opportunity you wanted, or why things seem easier for them. But what you don't see are the struggles they're facing behind the scenes. Everyone has their own timeline, their own path, and their own lessons to learn. Just because someone else reached a milestone before you doesn't mean you're behind. Just because someone else's journey looks different doesn't mean yours is wrong. Sometimes delays happen because you're being protected. What you want right now may not be what you need. There are things you cannot see, lessons you have not yet learned, and growth that still needs to happen before you're ready for the next level. When something doesn't work out as planned, it's not a sign to give up. It's a sign to trust. Trust that what is meant for you will come in its own time. Trust that just because it hasn't happened yet doesn't mean it won't. Trust that you are exactly where you need to be. The key is to shift your focus. Instead of dwelling on what hasn't happened, focus on what is happening. What lessons are you learning right now? What skills are you developing? How are you growing in ways you never expected? Every season has a purpose. Some seasons are about taking action, while others are about preparation. If you're in a season of waiting, use it wisely. Strengthen yourself. Build your foundation. Become the person who will be ready when the opportunity arrives. Regret and frustration often come from resisting the present moment. People get so caught up in where they think they should be that they fail to appreciate where they are. But every chapter of your life serves a purpose. The struggles you're facing now are building the strength you'll need later. The lessons you're learning now will be the wisdom you rely on in the future. When you stop resisting where you are and start embracing it, you begin to see that everything is happening for a reason. The journey is never a straight line. There will be unexpected detours, challenges, and moments when you feel lost. But just because you can't see the destination doesn't mean you aren't moving forward. Sometimes the path is winding for a reason. It's leading you to something greater than you imagined. Trust that you're being guided, that every experience is shaping you, and that you are not late, off track, or missing out. You are exactly where you need to be. And when the time is right, everything will fall into place just as it should. Your past does not define you. No matter the mistakes you've made, the failures you've experienced, or how many times you've fallen, none of that has the power to determine your future unless you let it. Lives carry the weight of their past, believing that who they were is who they will always be. But the truth is, you are not defined by your past. You are not your failures. You are not your regrets. You are not the person you were yesterday, last year, or a decade ago. Every single day presents an opportunity to become someone new, to rewrite your story and step into the person you were meant to be. One of the biggest traps the mind falls into is believing that past mistakes determine future possibilities. You may have made poor decisions, trusted the wrong people, or followed a path that led to pain. But those experiences do not mean you are doomed to repeat them. They were lessons, not life sentences. Every mistake you have made was a chance to learn. Every failure was an opportunity to grow. Every wrong turn was a part of the process that shaped you into who you are becoming. The only way your past can control your future is if you allow it. Guilt and shame are heavy burdens that keep people stuck in cycles of self-doubt. The mind replays moments of regret, constantly reminding you of what you should have done differently. But no amount of guilt will change the past, and no amount of shame will fix what is already done. The only thing you have control over is what you do next. You can choose to let your past weigh you down, or you can choose to release it and move forward. Forgiveness is a powerful tool, not just for others but for yourself. When you forgive yourself for past mistakes, you free yourself from the chains that have been holding you back. People often fear that if they let go of the past, they are somehow ignoring it or pretending it didn't happen. But letting go doesn't mean forgetting. It means choosing to stop letting your past steal your present. It means refusing to let old wounds dictate new opportunities. It means understanding that you are a work in progress, and that every day is a chance to create a new version of yourself. Growth isn't possible if you are constantly looking backward. The only way to step into your potential is to focus on who you are becoming, not who you once were. The world will try to remind you of your past. People may hold on to old versions of you, bringing up mistakes you have long since moved past. But what others think doesn't matter. People will always have opinions, but they do not get to define you. Only you decide who you are. You are allowed to grow. You are allowed to change. You are allowed to leave behind anything that no longer serves you. The person you were yesterday is gone. The person you choose to be today is entirely up to you. One of the most freeing realizations is that you don't need permission to start over. You don't need approval to redefine yourself. At any moment you can decide that you are done carrying the weight of your past. You can decide that you are worthy of a new beginning. You can decide that your mistakes do not define you. Your actions moving forward do. The strongest people are not those who never make mistakes, but those who refuse to let their mistakes stop them. Every great success story is filled with failures, setbacks, and struggles. The difference between those who rise and those who stay stuck is simple. Those who rise refuse to be defined by their past. They take ownership of their future. They refuse to let shame, regret, or fear hold them back. They understand that their past was just a chapter, not the whole book. And they know that the most important thing is not where they've been, but where they are going. You deserve love, happiness, and success, not because of what you have done, not because of what you have proven, but simply because you are worthy. Too many people go through life believing they have to earn these things, that they have to struggle endlessly before they can finally feel deserving. They convince themselves that they are not good enough, not smart enough, not successful enough to have the life they dream of. But this belief is a lie. You do not have to wait for permission to embrace love. You do not have to reach a certain level of success before you allow yourself to feel happy. You do not have to prove anything to anyone before you start believing in your own worth. One of the biggest reasons people struggle with feeling worthy is that they have been conditioned to believe that their value is tied to their achievements. From a young age, they are taught that success must be earned, that love is conditional, that happiness comes after hard work. While effort and perseverance are important, they do not determine whether you are worthy of good things in life. You do not need to reach a specific milestone before you start believing in yourself. You do not have to have everything figured out before you start seeing yourself as enough. Your worth is not determined by your past, your mistakes, or your accomplishments. It is something that has always been within you. Many people hold themselves back from love, happiness, and success because they do not believe they deserve them. They self-sabotage, pushing away opportunities, avoiding relationships, and settling for less than they are capable of achieving. This is not because they are incapable. It is because deep down they do not think they are worthy. They have allowed past failures, disappointments, and rejections to convince them that they are not good enough. But worthiness is not something that can be taken away. No mistake, no setback, no rejection can erase your value. The way you see yourself affects every part of your life. If you believe you are undeserving, you will settle for less than you deserve. If you believe you are unworthy of love, you will accept relationships that do not value you. If you believe success is for other people but not for you, you will never take the risks needed to achieve your dreams. Your life is a reflection of what you believe about yourself. The good news is that these beliefs can be changed. You can decide right now that you are worthy. You can choose to rewrite the story you have been telling yourself. You can stop looking for reasons to doubt yourself and start embracing the truth. You deserve every good thing that comes your way. Self-worth is not about arrogance or entitlement. It is not about thinking you are better than others. It is about recognizing that you are just as deserving as anyone else. There is no one else on this planet exactly like you. Your experiences, your perspective, your gifts, they are all unique to you. That alone makes you valuable. You are not put on this earth to live in doubt, to question your worth, or to settle for less than what you desire. You were meant for more. Love, happiness, and success are not things that are given only to a chosen few. They are available to anyone who believes they are worthy of them. The people who achieve great things are not necessarily the smartest, the luckiest, or the most talented. They are the ones who believe in themselves. They are the ones who refuse to settle. They are the ones who understand that they deserve to live a life they love. And the truth is, so do you. You are enough exactly as you are. You do not need to change who you are to be deserving of love. You do not need to wait for happiness until you reach a certain level of success. You do not need to prove yourself to anyone before you allow yourself to go after what you want. The only permission you need is your own. The only validation that matters is the one you give yourself. The moment you start believing that you are worthy, everything in your life begins to change. Challenges, setbacks, and obstacles are not signs that you are failing. They are proof that you are growing. Life will test you, not to break you, but to build you into the person you were meant to become. Every difficulty you face is shaping you, teaching you, and strengthening you in ways you cannot yet see. The problem is that most people view struggles as reasons to quit, rather than opportunities to rise. They let fear, frustration, and doubt convince them that hard times mean they are on the wrong path. But the truth is, the path to anything worthwhile is never easy. Growth happens in discomfort. Strength is built through resistance, and resilience is forged in the moments when you want to give up, but choose to keep going. Most people dream of success, happiness, and fulfillment, but very few are willing to endure the process that leads to them. They want the reward without the struggle, the victory without the fight. But nothing in life that truly matters comes without challenges. Every strong person you admire has been through seasons of hardship. Every success story is built on a foundation of failures, rejections, and setbacks. The difference between those who succeed and those who don't is not talent or luck. It is the ability to keep going when things get tough. It is the ability to push through fear, pain, and uncertainty, knowing that struggle is not the enemy but the necessary process of transformation. When you look at challenges this way, they stop feeling like roadblocks and start feeling like stepping stones. Instead of resisting them, you begin to embrace them. You start seeing every hardship as an opportunity to become stronger. You start realizing that every struggle is preparing you for something greater. Life is not happening to you. It is happening for you. The difficulties you face are not there to destroy you. They are there to shape you into the person you need to be for the future you are working toward. Think about a time in your life when you faced something difficult. Maybe it was a loss, a failure, or a moment when everything seemed to fall apart. At the time, it may have felt like the end, like there was no way forward. But looking back, you can probably see that it changed you. It forced you to grow in ways you never would have otherwise. It taught you lessons that made you wiser, stronger, and more prepared. For fear doesn't just prevent you from reaching your goals, it fills your life with regret. The discomfort of trying and failing is temporary, but the pain of never attempting anything at all lasts forever. Fear thrives on uncertainty. It makes you dwell on everything that could go wrong, every potential mistake, every reason why you aren't ready. But the reality is that no one is ever truly prepared. Nobody starts at the peak. Every expert began as a beginner. Every successful person encountered moments of doubt, fear, and times when they wondered if they were capable. The only difference is they didn't let fear stop them. They kept going. They learned as they went. They took small steps that gradually became giant leaps. Courage doesn't mean the absence of fear. It means deciding that something is more important than fear. Your dreams, your goals, and your potential matter more than the temporary discomfort of stepping outside your comfort zone. Every remarkable accomplishment in history was made possible by someone who refused to allow fear to control them. Every innovation, every breakthrough, every success story started with someone who took a risk. And the reality is you are no different. The same strength, the same courage, the same potential exists within you. Fear often disguises itself as logic. It tricks you into thinking you need to wait for the right moment, to gather more information, to prepare just a bit longer. But in truth, this is fear holding you back from making progress. The perfect moment doesn't exist. If you wait until you feel ready, you'll never start. Growth happens when you take a step, even when you don't feel entirely prepared. It happens when you trust yourself enough to figure things out as you go along. The most successful people in the world weren't the ones who had all the answers from the start. They were the ones who took action before they had all the answers. Acting despite fear doesn't mean you'll never fail. In fact, failure is part of the journey. But failure isn't the end. It's a lesson. Every setback teaches you something valuable. Every mistake is an opportunity to learn and grow. The only true failure is refusing to try. The only real defeat is letting fear dominate your life. The people who achieve great things aren't the ones who never failed. They're the ones who never allowed failure to stop them. You won't be able to eliminate fear entirely, but you can choose not to let it control you. You can decide that your dreams are worth the risk, that your future is worth the discomfort, and that the life you want is worth stepping through fear to reach. Every time you act despite fear, you weaken its grip on you. Every time you take a step forward, you prove to yourself that you are stronger than the doubts in your mind. And with each step, you become the type of person who is no longer controlled by fear, but uses it as fuel to reach new heights.